Now, friends, let me ask you this morning, when somebody comes to you and offers to help you, how do you typically respond? In other words, when you find yourself in a situation and somebody comes alongside you and says, hey, I'd be happy to help you with this, or I'd be happy to help you with that, how do you typically respond? Do you typically accept their help? Like, hey, yeah, that would be great. Please come and help me. Or do you typically politely decline their help? Like, yeah, oh, thanks so much for thinking of me. Thanks for offering, but I'm good. You know, and I think of my own life, I'd like to think that I'm somebody that's open to accepting help. But if I'm honest, if I look at my life on a daily basis, I find myself turning down help from people all the time. And you know, I imagine for those of us here today that struggle with accepting help from other people, one of the reasons why we struggle with that is because deep down we believe that we can handle that situation on our own. And you know, oftentimes we can. Sometimes we can deal with things. We don't need the help from other people, but I would also venture to say that sometimes there are situations where we really could use some help, but we end up declining that help for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's because we're prideful. Sometimes we don't want to come across as weak, or we don't want to come across as a charity case. Sometimes some of us, we're perfectionists, right? We want things done a certain way, and therefore we're going to decline help every single time because that person cannot do it the way that we want them to do it. Sometimes we're controlling. Sometimes you and I, we don't want people to come into our lives and see our issues and see our problems. In other words, we're okay with them seeing this part of our life, but we're not okay with them seeing that part of our life. And so what do we end up doing? We end up declining their help, not because they can't help us, but because deep down we've convinced ourselves that we do not need help. But you know what? The reality is this, that sometimes you and I, we truly need help. And so friends, if somebody is reaching out to you and they're offering to help you, they see what you're going through and they say, hey, I would be happy to help. As people, we need to be open to accepting that help.